If God told you His will for your life, would you obey it? If God in heaven, who knows all things, who alone is wise, who upholds all things by His power, who knows the end from the beginning, who loves you and cares for you, if He told you what He wanted you to do with your life, would you obey Him? Would you obey Him? Thessalonians 4 verse 3. This is the will of God for you. This is the will of God for you. That you don't do sex things until you're married, but that you control your own body in sanctification and honor, not like the people who don't know God. God's will for you and for me and for all people is that you control your own body and you don't do sex things until you is married. So God's will for you and for me and for all people is you don't do sex things until you are married. You keep your body pure, you keep your body holy, and you keep yourself for the person that God will send you and that you will have a future with and a life with. Not the cockroach who whistles outside your house that you must come meet by the shop. In the olden days, before the world was as bad as it is today, the kings would give their daughters special clothes to wear to show that that lady is a virgin and a pure lady. It speaks in the Bible about King David clothing his daughters in these special robes. And those robes would be a status symbol to show this lady is pure and blessed and virtuous and decent, not doing funny stuff in the nighttime with whoever. Jesus gives us a spiritual coat to wear that we can't see. God gives you a coat to wear that no one else can see except God and the angels in heaven. And it's a blessed and it's a pure and it's a glorious and it's a wonderful thing and it's a valuable thing to be a virgin. It's a coat that you wear that other people can't see, but God sees it and it's valuable. Now in the book of Genesis there's a man called Joseph, and Joseph's father gave him a coat because Joseph's father loved Joseph and he favored Joseph. And what did his brothers wanted to do? His brothers wanted to take his coat away because they were corrupt and evil. And this world wants to rob you of that coat that God has given you. The people who want to take that from you are not children of God, they're children of the devil to come to rob you of what is valuable. When someone says, ek wil jou hê, ek like het, doen het, jy moet sê, wait Satan. Jy moet sê, wait, gaan weg. You must keep that coat until you is married, and then it's a gift that you give to your wife or you give to your husband. If you value yourself and you value your future and you value God, you must choose inside your heart and see yourself as a valuable person and not just give yourself to whoever likes you or takes an interest in you. Did you see no higher value in yourself to give yourself to man? He didn't even buy you a pair of shoes. He gave you nothing, and you will give yourself to that man. What's wrong with you? Do you not see yourself as better than that? So I want you to choose when you're young. Choose when you're young that you're going to value yourself, you're going to honor yourself and see yourself as an honorable person. Not a person that you just give yourself so cheaply. I think, are you so cheap? Hey, you didn't even give, hey? If you now think, what did that man do and what did he give you and what effort did he put through to have you, and he did almost nothing. And you know that people don't value what they don't work for.
I will wait for you. Jesus, you're the Son.
People don't value what they don't work for. If you don't work for something, you won't value it, even if it is valuable. You must work for something before you value it. You must go through effort to get something before you value it, or you won't value it. It's like the Olympic Games. Those people train 6 hours a day, 6 days a week for 15 years to run that one race. That's why they cry when they hold that medal and they stand on that podium, and that medal means something, and they put it on the podium in the house for the rest of their life, and they will treasure that medal because they have earned it. We can bring a medal here tomorrow and give you the same medal. You know what that medal means? It means nothing because you didn't earn it. The same medal will mean nothing to you because he earned it and you never. And if you give yourself to a man who did not earn you, he will never value you. It doesn't matter how pretty you are and how nice you are. If he didn't earn you, he won't value you because no one values what they don't work for. You're too easy to be valued. People value what costs them something. The more difficult it is to get something, the more it is valued. And that's how you know a man is decent, because an indecent man values nothing and he wants to use everybody and he puts no effort in. Ek like jou, ek wil jou hê, nee. Ek like jou, ek wil jou hê. Like some cockroach like that. When people get married, they say, John, do you take Jane to be a lawfully wedded wife, to love, honor, and cherish, in sickness and in health, in riches and in poorness, in good times and in bad times? Jane says, I do. They say, Jane, do you take John to be a lawfully wedded husband, to love, honor, and obey, in sickness and in health, in riches and in poorness, in good times and in bad times, till death do you part? Jane says, I do. And then they say, I now pronounce you man and wife. You may now kiss the bride. Do you know why they say you may now kiss the bride? They don't say you've been kissing for 5 years, carry on. That's how you may now kiss the bride, because there should be no kissing until you're married. Now, some people start kissing when they're 13, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, some, it's different ages. See, you like that boy at school, you're on Facebook, he inboxes you on Facebook, or WhatsApp, or you live near each other, or you sit next to each other in school, and you like it when your arms touch each other, and then you sit closer. It works and it starts like that. Now, you meet somewhere, you go to a party or whatever. Now eventually you like this person, you like each other. Now you go and you kiss each other. People don't kiss with their hands behind their back. Almost immediately you're doing other stuff with that kissing. Now say you kiss with this boy for 3 months or 6 months, you do more and you do more and you do more and you do more. Then you see he's not nice anymore, he's busy with other stuff, or he only wants to use you, so you leave him. What do you think you do with the next one? You carry off where you left off with the first one, and now you go further. Now you go so far, so far, so far. So now you go further and further and further. So you broke up with that one, and what do you think you do with the next one? Where you left off with the last one. Now say you started when you're 16 or 18 or 15 or whatever. Now you have sex when you're 21. Okay? Now you see the man isn't nice to you anymore, he treats you differently, he's busy with other people, and you break up with them. What do you think you do with your next one? You carry off where you left off with the first one. And then tell me, what do you think you are by the time you're 30? And you know what you lost? You lost when you started at school. Do you agree you must be faithful to your husband? Must you be faithful to your wife? When must you start being faithful? When must you start being faithful? You must be faithful now to the person that you will be married to. It says in Proverbs 31 about a virtuous woman is worth more than money. It says a virtuous woman is worth more than rubies and jewels. And it says she does her husband good and not evil all the days of her life. If you're doing stuff with a person you're not married to, you're sinning against the husband that you will one day have. Because that person's not your husband. And now when you get married, you got that stuff in your mind, what you've done. The same with men. You must be faithful now to the wife that you will one day have. And if you do that, God will bless you and give you a good future and a righteous future and a blessed future. If I have money, I can give my money away because I get more money. If I have time, I can give you my time today because by God's mercy I'll have more time. But if I only have one of something, don't you think I must think very carefully who I give that one to? If I only have one of something, and I'll never have another one, do you not think I mustn't throw that one away? And then the rest of my life I can think I've given away something that was valuable to someone who didn't even deserve a 50 cents. I've given away my gold coin, my diamond, to that person. And I'll never have another one. Now do you understand what I'm talking about? Don't give away something you can't get back. My business can sink, I'll build a business again. Don't give away something that when it's gone you can never get it back.
Jesus, I can see you now.
Do we see that you get boys that tell girls, if you love me, you will do this. You must show me you love me. You must prove you love me. You know what I'll do? I'll show you the door. 1 Corinthians 13, love is patient, love is kind, love doesn't seek its own, love waits. So if someone loves you, they will wait for you and they'll be patient with you. And they won't seek what they can take from you, they'll seek what they can give you. So if someone says, I love you, you must show me, do this because you love me, he's a liar, he only loves himself. And he wants to use you for his self-love and his selfishness. Because if someone loves you, they don't think what they can take from you, they think what they do for you. If somebody loves you, they will wait for you. They will be patient and they won't seek what they can take from you. For God so loved that he did what? That he gave. He doesn't take, he's a giver. Satan is a taker. Satan wants to grab and rob and steal and kill and destroy. And people want to come take from you and take your coat and take your future and take your value. Sent to the devil, not of God.
But I believe the word you promised me. So I will wait another day. I will wait for you. I will wait, Jesus.
In the book of Genesis is a man called Jacob. The Bible's the history of his children. Okay, he had family problems, so he runs away and he stays at another city. He stays with a man called Laban. And he works there for Laban. He's a hard worker, and after a month, Laban says to Jacob, Jacob, you're a good worker. How much must I pay you? And Jacob said to Laban, I will work for you for 7 years if I can marry your daughter. 7 years, that's good, go work. So Jacob worked for 7 years without being paid for the lady that he loved. 7 years is not a short time, 7 years. They didn't kiss each other, they didn't hold hands, they didn't do stuff, they didn't touch each other, he just worked and waited. After 7 years he goes to the father, he says, where's the lady that I worked for? They have like a wedding ceremony. Jacob is in his house, the lady comes in, it's dark, there's no lights, he kisses the lady, they fall asleep together, he's holding on the lady he loves so much. He wakes up the next morning and he looks and it's not the lady he worked for, it's her older sister. So he gets up and he goes to the father and says, what have you done? I worked for you for 7 years for your younger daughter, why did you give me the other one? And the father said, in our culture we can't marry the young one before the old one. Work for me another 7 years, we'll give you that one. With tears in his eyes, he went and he worked another 7 years, okay? The Bible is the history of Jacob's children. God put that story in the Bible to teach me something. That man is blessed and that woman is blessed. Their children became the tribes of Israel. And you know what we learn from that story? If someone loves you, they will wait for you. If someone loves you, they will work for you. And if someone loves you, they will be patient with you. Is that man worked for the lady that he loved, and he waited for the lady that he loved, and he was faithful to the lady that he loved. So if you are a girl, and I don't believe people must be in relationships when they're in school, but when you're out of school, if you have a boyfriend, this is what you must tell your boyfriend in the beginning. You must work for me, and you must wait for me, and you must be faithful to me. And if he says no, it's better you get him out in the beginning than he ruins you and pulls you down in the mud with him and leaves you with the baby. If a person doesn't see enough value in you to want to work for you and to want to wait for you, then you mustn't entertain that person. Because God will bring something, God will bring you something, okay? If you wait and you honor God, faith and patience, God will bring you something good. But it may take a year, it may take 2 years, it may take 6 months. Then the devil will put something in front of you now today and say, take this. And if you take this, you will lose what you would have had. You will lose what you would have had. Do you really believe that's the best you can get? Do you really believe that's the only future you can have? If you believe there's better, then don't take this, because if you take this, you won't have better.